Welcome to TechnoTips Learning, and in this video we will learn how to send emails using SMTP relay with Azure Communication Services. This is a step-by-step tutorial that covers everything from setting up your communication services resources in Azure to authenticating and sending emails via SMTP. This is perfect for developers, IT admins, and cloud technicians. Suppose you have developed an application, a CRM or ERP application, or you have a printer where you want to use scan to email feature on the printer that you scan a document and the scanned document is sent to an email address. In that case, we will use Azure SMTP relay, which is Azure Communication Services and Azure Communication Email features. So what these features do? So SMTP relay allows apps, printers, IoT devices, or backend systems to send email using an external server like Azure Communication Services, and it avoids IP blacklisting. Relaying through a trusted SMTP server prevents your app IP address from being flagged as spam by the number of emails that it is sending. It is secure and it is authenticated delivery. It helps you in authentication and the send email without hosting a mail server. So you do not need to host a mail server. Azure SMTP relay is on cloud and you can use this feature. So let us look into the prerequisites of SMTP relay or Azure Communication Services that we want to use to send emails. To use the Azure SMTP relay or Azure Communication Services, we have few prerequisites. First of all, we need an Azure subscription, a communication service resource, a verified domain for email, and SMTP client or app or code to send the email. So these are the prerequisites. Fourth one, the SMTP client or app code to send emails may vary. We can use our scanners, the settings on the scanners, or in the end, I'll show you PowerShell code as well, how we use the Azure Communication Service to send emails. But let us first verify the Azure subscription. Now, the first thing is I have a pay as you go Azure subscription. So let us see portal.azure.com and I'm logged in with my account. And I have a pay as you go subscription, which is good enough to configure these services. The second prerequisite that we have is a communication service resource which we need to create in Azure, a verified domain for email. All right. So what I'll do is let us see if I have a domain, and I will not use kind of existing domain. We will use a subdomain. So let us configure a subdomain. So we'll go to Hostinger is my domain provider. I use Hostinger. Go to subdomain and we will use it like newsletters.bycues.com and custom create folder or leave it as it is. So this newsletter.bycues.com is created now. So there is no website associated or there is nothing associated with it. It will go to the simple default page. However, we will use this domain for configuring the email delivery. All right, and let us see more SMTP client or application. One other point that I think I missed here is I'll write it here is the SMTP will work on port 587 or port 25. So, so on the network firewall, the outbound these the outbound connections to these ports should be open. So this is what because I do not have a firewall on my lab environment right now, so by default the port 587 or port 25 is open. But when you are configuring it for an organization which is using a firewall, these ports, the outbound connection on these port 587 or port 25, port 587 is recommended. However, these outbound connection to these ports should be open. All right, so we looked into all the prerequisites. Now we will proceed further to configure the email communication services. So first of all, we will go to our Azure portal. In our Azure portal, we will go ahead and create an email communication service resource. So we'll search for email communication services and we will click create. The subscription is pay as you go. My existing subscription resource group, I do not have any resource group created. So for this service, let me create email a resource group SMTP relay, email SMTP relay. So click on OK. Resource group location you need to select. So based on your location you can select here. So I will select India, Central India. All right, name of this service, this resource is I need to put so email SMTP relay, mark it as 1, region is global, data location I need to select India. This is the location. It depends upon your location, the nearest location that you want to choose. We'll click next. We will not use any tags for now. Next, and it is running final validation. So you can click on create and this email communication resource is created. Resource group is also created, email SMTP relay, and it is in deployment. All right, so this deployment is completed. So you can see the details of the deployment. It is SMTP relay 1 is the resource created. Now next step, go to the resource. Go to resource. So you can see it took you to the resource group. So if you want to use different location, so you can use this resource. Now we will quickly look into the cost estimation of how much it will cost for sending the emails. So I have already opened this pricing calculator. So we'll click on Azure Communication Services and we will move down to the email section. So chat, it supports everything. So we'll move down to the email section and maybe I put this value in number of emails that I'll send and the average size of the email, suppose I'll keep it 30 MB. So it will cost you per email this much 0.0002 to 25 cents or 0.00025 cents. Sorry, I cannot convert it. right now. So for 30 MB into number of these emails sent, and it will cost you this much. So total cost would be $3,850. So this is completely dependent on how many emails you are sending, so in a month. So if you are sending like 1 million emails, it will cost you $385. If you send 2 million of them, so it will cost you $770. So this is the cost estimation. Now this depends upon your budget, how much you want to spend. So that is the cost calculator that you can use to calculate. Mostly all the emails are not 30 MB, so maybe you use it like 3 MB of the emails, so the cost will significantly drop. So $122, it is still manageable. So this is what you can explore on your organization's end, and the better is you go and chat with the sales agent on Microsoft. All right. All right, so now we have looked into the prerequisites and billing as well, and we have created a subdomain, right? So this is our subdomain, newsletters.byqs.com. So we will use this subdomain to configure our SMTP relay. So we'll go to SMTP relay 1, and here you see the option at the bottom. You see it says add a free Azure subdomain. That is okay. Set up a custom domain. So we will set up our custom domain, enter your domain name. So we will copy newsletters.byqs.com, and we will put it here, and it is asking to re-enter. So let us re-enter and confirm and click on add. So it says custom domain deployment, and very soon it will ask you to verify your domain, and it will give you few DNS entries that you need to publish, and then you need to verify. So we are here, and we go to advanced and DNS zone editor. We will be ready with our domain name servers, and newsletters alias is already created because this is all managed by Hostinger. All right, now it says domain added, and you need to verify the domain. So click on verify. So first thing is txt record. Txt name is newsletters.byqs.com, and this is the txt value, and this is TTL, time to live. So we will go ahead to our DNS zone editor, and this is a txt record. So we will go ahead and create a txt record, and the name will be newsletters because .byqs.com is by default added. So if you just type newsletters, it will automatically become newsletters.byqs.com, and value, you need to put the value here, and TTL 3600, and click on add record. So this record is added. TXT we need to see all the TXT records here. TXT newsletters, this record is created. Now we will click on next. TXT record is published. Review, this is done, and finish. Verification is underway. Thank you for initiating the verification of your custom domain newsletters.byqs.com. This process may take 15 to 20 minutes to complete. So I will pause this video and let it finish. In the left pane overview, activity log and you see all these settings. You go to provision domains and it says newsletters.bycus.com custom domain. It is verified. Now we have to configure SPF record, the DKIM record, and DKIM2 record. So first of all, we will go with SPF status. You click on configure. Now we need to, for SPF record, we need to create another TXT record, and for DKIM we need to create a CNAME record. DKIM2, again we need to configure a CNAME record. So let us go to our DNS zone editor. Alright, so the record we are creating is a TXT record, the first one. TXT name will be newsletters.bycus.com. You can copy as it is. It will truncate later, but if you use newsletters only, that will also work. SPF record is this. So we go ahead and create, put the value, and TTL is 3600. Not that mandatory, but yeah, we will follow whatever it says. So add record. Now we will go ahead and create this DKIM record. DKIM record is a CNAME record. So we will go ahead and create a CNAME record. And the value is selector 1 Azure.com prodnet domain key. This is CNAME record name. Yeah. So in the name we will put this value. And DKIM value is this. So we copy and put the value, and TTL is again 3600. So we will change it to 3600 and do an add record. Now DKIM2 CNAME record name, it is again a CNAME record. So you copy it and put a CNAME record. So let us see, selector 2, okay, it is selector 2. DKIM value, it is this, and TTL is 3600, and we'll do add record. Alright, so all the records added. Now we'll close this and we will refresh it. It will take some time to verify, so we will wait for some time. Alright, so we will go ahead and we have created it, so we'll click next. These are the details and we'll click on done. Verification is underway. Thank you for initiating the SPF and DKIM verification process. This may take 15 to 20 minutes to complete. So let us see. So SPF is already verified and verification in progress. Alright, so we do see the SPF status is verified, DKIM status is verified, DKIM2 status verified. So my subdomain newsletter.bycus.com is completely verified to use Azure Com services. Now I made a small change, so I'll tell you what change we made. So I will open Notepad and show you. So this was the value which was provided by Azure to verify as the DKIM. So this stands good. I'll write stands good for main domain. However, if you are using a subdomain, so in this DKIM value, we need to append our subdomain. So it stands good for subdomain. So if you are stuck in verification like me, you need to change this domain key and add .newsletters or your subdomain. So let us see what changes we have made. So you see the CNAME record, the selector2.azure.com domain key dot newsletters I added here, and selector2.azure.com prod, it remains the same. The name changes, and the same I did with selector 1, and now it is verified. So we will now move to the next step. Now in this step we will configure the communication services. So let us see. We'll go to communication services. You can search. If it is not available, you can search from here, communication services, and here you can click on create. Pay as you go subscription. Select existing item, SMTP email relay. Resource name you choose, like news or newsletter service, and location I'll select India. Click next. No tags for now. Let it verify, and we will hit create. Let it create the newsletter service. It is in deployment phase. It is a communication service. Alright, now I see it is deployed. Deployment status is deployed. So we will go to newsletter service and connect your email domains. We will click here, connect domain, and pay as you go. Resource group SMTP relay email service, SMTP relay 1, verified domains newsletter.bycus.com, and we will hit connect. So it is now connected, domain successfully connected. All right, so now we have connected this newsletter service, which is a communication service. We have added our email communication service, and it is all connected. We will move to the next step now. So now this communication service, which we name newsletter service, is connected to the domain newsletter.bycus.com. We will move into access control IAM, and we will go to role assignment, and here we will add a role assignment, which is email communication and email service owner. Communication and email service owner. So we go next, select members. Now here the members we select needs to be an application in your Microsoft Entra ID. So I'm moving step by step from the configuration. It is very much recommended that you follow all these steps as I'm doing it. Naming and other things you can change. So here when you go to use group or user group or service principal, you select members. You need to have an application in your Microsoft Entra ID. So let us close all these. So to create an application, we will go right click, okay, open a duplicate tab. We'll go to home, and we will go to Entra ID. Select Entra ID from here, and we click on manage, and we go to app registrations. Now all applications, and we will go to new registration. We will name it as newsletter delivery app. Accounts in this organization, select a platform as web, and just simply click on register. So this application is registered now, and the name is new newsletter delivery app. So we will go to this, and we will place newsletter delivery app, and we click on select. So newsletter delivery app is now selected. We click next and we'll click review plus assign. So let us see, newsletter delivery app is now selected as communication and email service owner. Now we go to this newsletter delivery app and go to manage and client certificate and secrets. So we will create a new secret here and we will name it delivery app secret and recommended 180 days. We'll click on add. So this is there, so we need to click this, copy this value, because this will become the password for any account that we will use. So secret, we will put it like this, and this is the secret ID, so we don't need that, so we will just keep the secret because this will be the password. So now my application has been assigned as communication and email service owner. Now we go to SMTP usernames. So in SMTP usernames, we will create add SMTP username. So the application is newsletter delivery app. Tenant ID all automatically populate from Entra ID. And if you want to use a custom text, so we will create one custom text and one email. So newsletters, and we'll just click save. So this will become my username, and when I show you the PowerShell code, I'll tell you how to use it. So now one email I would create, like newsletter delivery at newsletters.bycus.com. So both these accounts are created. All right, so now what we will do is we'll go to domains. So SMTP usernames we have created, so we will simply copy these details. Okay, so one username is newsletters and second username is newsletter delivery at newsletters.bycus.com. All right, so now this next thing we will do is we will go to domains and we will click on newsletters.bycus.com, and here you see mail from addresses. So this is do not reply at newsletters.bycus.com, one email address, second email address. So we'll say copy mail from addresses. So this is my mail from address. This is my second mail from address. So now we will take you to my PowerShell code. So SMTP server is smtp.azurecom.net. SMTP port is 587. SMTP username is, we will need to put the SMTP username from what we copied. So let us see newsletters, and we need to put the password. So we will put the secret key as the password, which is for the application. All right, we'll send the password, and from email address. Now from email address, what we have to put is, we copied already, do not reply at newsletters.bycus.com. So from address we put it here, and to address is any email address where you want to send the email. Now let us send an email and see what happens. So it says it sent an email. All right, so let us verify whether it did send it or not. So This is one email 2 hours ago to me, 1 hour ago. 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour inbox. Okay, this is the fifth one, the new email, which is sent just now, 0 minutes ago, you can see. And this is the email. This email is a test email using communication services SMTP relay. Okay, so now the email is sending, we have verified. So similarly, what you can do is you can change the from address. Like currently we used do not reply, so you can use this user ID as well. The password will remain always remain same for the secret, the application secret. So now let us try sending it from this. All right, it definitely sent the email. So let's see if I receive it. And I received the sixth email. So other four I tried it before I could present it. So this is the one that I sent just now, 0 minutes ago. All right. So what we are doing is application secret. We are using it as password. The SMTP server is smtp.azurecom.net. SMTP port is 587. Newsletters, delivery, email address, SMTP username. We use the password as the client secret of the Entra ID app. Do not reply. So everything is set here. So now if we have a printer, we can make these settings on the scan to email feature and it will work. However, what happens from the network end, because if you remember I mentioned the point that the outgoing connection on port number 587 and port number 25 should be open. So currently on my machine it is open. Let us block the outbound connection and let us see if it still sends the email. Now that is a simple replication of the firewall. So we will go to firewall and outbound rules. We will create a new rule and we will see port next, and we will put 587 next, block the connection. For now, block the connection, look it very clearly, and next, name, port 587, block. Okay, and we'll click on finish. Now port 587 is blocked. Now we will use the same PowerShell and try to send an email, and it says unable to connect to remote server because we have blocked port number 587, the outbound connection on port number 587. This is a simple computer firewall that I showed. In your organization, if you are using a firewall, your network team is managing it, so you need to ask them to open port number 587. Now let us see if I can send the email on port number 25. So instead of 587, we are able to send email on port number 25, and we will remove use SSL to see if it supports without SSL. So we'll click on next, and it says star TLS is required to send email. So your TLS should be uh, enabled, or the application or device on which you are configuring this setting should have SSL, at least SSL and TLS enabled. So now it is sending the emails when we change to the port 25 and we are selecting use SSL. Now we will simply go, because this block we have to remove, so we will disable this rule or delete this rule, and we'll hit delete. Now this rule is deleted for 587. Now we will change the port to 587 and we will run it, and let us see if it sends emails. So no error, and it is sending emails, and just to verify. In my inbox, I have 9 emails. So it is sending from do not reply newsletters. So this is completely working. However, now suppose there is no reply, you want to use my scanner or any other kind of email address. What will you do in that case is you go and you see here, like, this is what I wanted to show you. So if you go to this domain name, so in domains, if you go to this domain name, the mail from addresses, this is blocked, this is grayed out, and the delete option is also grayed out. So how do we create a new email address to send from, uh, yeah, new email address to send from? So it is not possible through GUI for now. Maybe this is a newly verified domain, or it is not running on full throttle, so we need to raise a ticket with Microsoft to enable this and run the emails with full throttle. However, we will use the CLI, the command line interface method, to add new email addresses. So how do we use it? So we will open this CLI. So we will access the CLI. Let us expand this so it is now ready. And the command that we need to use is, so the command that we need to use is AZ communication email domain sender username create. The action is create. If we use delete, it will delete. So domain name newsletters.bikers.com, email service name, so it is email SMTP relay 1. We can find it, the service name that we created, you can find it. And the group, the resource group it belongs to is email SMTP relay. Sender username, we will put the scanner 21. Username is scanner 21. Display name is, so this field you can choose, or whatever names you have put, or whatever names you want. So I'll go ahead and right click and paste the command, and let us see if it completes. So it's in preview and under development. So its username is scanner21. So we will minimize this and we will go to mail from addresses, and we will see that scanner21 at newsletter.bikers.com is created. Now we'll go to our PowerShell code and we'll simply copy this from address. We'll go to our PowerShell code, and from address we can change it now here. Scanner21 at newsletters.bikers.com, and let us see if it sends an email. Mailbox unavailable. Alright, so I spent some time editing this video as well, so that once it is ready I will be ready to publish it. And as we created, like, the newly created accounts scanner21 that we created, we got an error scanner22. So meanwhile I created other accounts as well. So these are other accounts. So what I have noticed is when you create these from addresses, they do not start working immediately. You need to spend some time to for them to be used. So this time almost 30 minutes I took in editing the video. So let us now send through scanner21 at newsletters.com and see what happens. It sent fine. So definitely we need to spend some time for these accounts to work. So meanwhile I created the second account, so let us use that as well. And yeah, it worked as well. So and copy from. So you'll notice I create another user ID and password remains same, so you can create multiple user IDs depending on your teams or people who require it. Like for HR department, you can have a different user ID, client secret. You can create new client secret. And we are getting emails lively on from all these email addresses. So you can see we are already getting them. So I think we are good. So just for a recap, and yeah, so if I recap my video, so the first thing is the Azure subscription is required. Azure subscription is required. Then you need to create communication service, and then you need to add email communication service, verify the domain. After you verify the domain, connect the domain to communication service, create an Entra ID application, and its client secret will be the password to send email. Okay, and then you create user accounts to authenticate accounts, and client secret will always be the password. Then we created from addresses using CLI, because the add from address option was grayed out. And to testing, we sent emails, and emails are working. Okay, I think that was a good recap, and you are the best one to evaluate this video. If you need this solution in your organization, definitely go with these settings, and it is very easy to do. Anybody can do it. So I think that is it on this video. If you liked this video, do like it, subscribe the channel so that I can create more such videos, and share it, use it, learn it, and do. If I made any mistake, I think I made a mistake when configuring the domains. So actually in domains, when I was authenticating the subdomain, so I had to use my subdomain there. So let me bring that string to you, and let us see if that helps. Yeah, so once the Azure gives you this sub give this, and if you want to use a subdomain, you can use subdomain. If you want to use a main domain, you can remove the subdomain part. So I will add a note in my video as well where I have made a mistake, and this is the correction. So thank you for watching, and have a nice day.